And I am live and on the air. I'm also about 45 seconds early. That's okay. Um, if I have my normal viewership, it won't make any difference anyway. Good evening. It is June 26, 2014, 7:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have had some comments, heard some comments, read them about how time-consuming 3D modeling is. You don't save any time. It's just, yada, 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 yada. Frankly, that's bullcrap. If I had put on 18 and over, I would have used the term I'm really thinking of. If you're using a pencil and paper to do this, to do your model or do your sketches, because it's not a model, it's a wild-ass guess, and then you try to figure out what amount of wood or screws or whatever else you need, you're wasting your time, guys. You're wasting hours and hours and hours. And I'm going to show you the reasons right here. First, I'm going to open screen share. And here we have my normal desktop with a case work assembly begun. They did this a couple different times. It took me a long time because I don't know what I'm doing as far as the construction goes. It didn't take long to make the parts. It just took a long time not to mess it up. So I need to find my other feature here. One thing I've heard is that thinking in 3D is difficult. It's hard to do. That is usually said by people that don't have a clue what they're doing in the first place. Using SketchUp and components to create or to increase cost effectiveness. Now, this is important. Any business that likes to waste money ain't going to go very far. Thinking in 3D is natural. You do it every time you make something, including making a cup of coffee. If you didn't think in 3D, you would pour it on your foot. Next slide. Using SketchUp and components to increase cost effectiveness. Your library is a resource of value. Your library is a time-saving feature, and your library will ease your design processes. The picture to the left is a Harbor Freight plant that I modeled up. It was not particularly easy to do. I'm not sure well, I know it's not 100% right because I don't have the plant mechanism in it, but it actually is fairly representative of what you would get. With additional applets, SketchUp will improve accuracy and provide both a spreadsheet, cut list, and a pictorial layout of how to put parts on your lumber. That equals cost savings. This is a picture of the plotted part layout. There's actually like 3 or 4 sheets on this one. I just grabbed one. You can see it's put on 3/4 by 96 by well, a 1 by 6, which is 3/4 by 5.5 by 8 feet long. There's a little drop-off extra over on the top one. The second picture there is fairly well used. The third picture actually has quite a bit of drop-off, but I'm not done with all the components either. Then down below, you can see that it's cross-referenced with the component names. Now, you can name these components whatever you want. I don't mess with it, because when I'm doing a project, If it says component 12, I look at it, I can see component 12. So let's see if we can find either component 13, 4, 2, or 7 on this page. Door rail, component 4, up here in the corner. Component 14 is a big one. It's not on the list, but there it is. 5. So all these pictures up here refer to their listing on the follow-up part of the sheet. This is a pictorial of the spreadsheet that I ran. I couldn't get OpenOffice to accept the spreadsheet into the presentation document. It kept crashing. So I just made a picture of it. You can see that there's several different ways to refer to the parts. C-001 gives you a quantity of 4. Its description is just component. And then it tells you the dimensions of it. I am looking for one down here. Probably those that say 15, 30 seconds are actually metric. They are, if I could find actually what they were, yeah, I can't cross-reference it right now, but I'm pretty sure that they're part of the drawer or the sides. And all of your sheet goods in the United States now are built under metric standards. Like it or not, that's what they are. Both of these outputs, once you run the applet, they call them plugins, Cutlist, they will be done in between 1 and maybe 15 minutes. I haven't run one longer than 3 minutes, but then my stuff is fairly small. We have to start our concept here with several givens. Your in panels are all the same. Your drawer sides are the same dimensions. Styles are the same length. Sheet goods are metric, as I just said, and they are, and it can make a difference on how you're cutting stuff. Case stashes are all the same profile, same with the drawer fronts, also with the door panels. Styles and rails also have the same profile. Now, I know you're saying, well, I make a lot of different door styles. Yes, you do. But there's got to be one that you do most of. There we go. I hope it, okay. First, you have to isolate your bread and butter component, your bread and butter styles first. Raised panel, that's fine. Which style? These are a bunch of different styles of raised panel doors. Are any of them better than the others? No. But what we want to do is start with your most used products to build your library from and then modify them. Back to your bread and butter again. What corner style is your go-to? This one's got biscuited miters. I don't have a biscuit joiner, so I wouldn't use them. In my model right now, you will see that they're just plain butt joints. My rails and styles aren't. They're tongued and grooved. But they can be changed from that very easily. So you figure out what your main usage is and build from there. Okay, so what about components? There's a lot of different ways to set them up. The graphic below shows a basic rail. I started out at 10 inches using that same component, and just by highlighting, well, making it unique first, I'll tell you how to do that later, but it's the same geometry, it's just a different name. By highlighting one end, I could make it 15 inches in about 15 seconds if you're really slow. And that's the end of the presentation, unless I missed one, which I think I did. Oh well, if I did, that's okay. Oh, I did. Okay. I will close this out. At least I'm trying to anyway. There, back to my workbench. You can see that my door, if I can get it so I can touch it, I do not have my door assembled yet. I have put the pieces in place, and I'm going to hide some things around it. This is just a simple raised panel door, tongue and grooved. You can say, well, your tongues and grooves are not right. They're not big enough. They're too big. And you're probably right. I've already admitted I really don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm trying to show you that if you do know what you're doing, it makes life a lot easier. So let's hide a couple more parts. And here's my simple raised panel door. Just straight cuts on it. Now I'm going to take these parts. There are all components for my door. They're all highlighted down here. You can see in the blue. And I'm going to right-click here and make a component. And I'll call it, I think that's 24-inch door. If not, it doesn't make any difference. There. Now this is now one entity that I can work with a lot easier. On my previous go-around, I had my back panel inset rabbited into here, and these were all a 1/4 inch narrower, 6 millimeters actually. Then I found out, oh, you have to have a nailing strip up here. So I just redid the whole thing. So to make a nailing strip, there's a plug-in through woodworlds.com, and you can create a board. I'm going to make it 90 inches, which is not long enough, and 5.5 and 0.75. Now, if you mess around with these up here and get really handy with this, you'll save yourself this stuff I'm going to have to show you. See, it came in 90 degrees out. I don't care, because I can select my rotate tool and it's now right. Grab my component, bring it up here. Why I knew it was going to be wrong is this is not ½ inch. It's slightly less because it's metric. So I'll make this component active. I'll select that in, and then I will grab this point here and drag it out. Now I have my nail panel up here, which I still may be wrong, because these might all need to be a 1/4 inch thinner. Right now I don't know. So let's go ahead and create another door for this little panel, this little opening right here. So I'm going to kind of need to know what size I'm working with. That is a 21 by 10. Now I could just take the other door I've got, make it unique, and mess around with that. I'm just going to show you how to create the first one so you can have it in your components. I have got, for this class, I set up a file. Sketchup 8 itself has this component file. I created one called VAW Cabinet Components. I'm going to bring in my style, and you can see it is out of phase. That's okay again, because I can have it like this and rotate it. Oops, I rotated it the wrong way. And see, it doesn't really make any difference if you goof it up the first time because you can re-grab it very easily. And it's just actually being kind of a nuisance. Okay, down below the lower left-hand side, you can see where it says angle. It is now 90 degrees. Now, one thing I goofed on. I don't have my dado, or my groove, in the center. So that kind of makes things a little bit more difficult. Because when I bring in, because I'm going to do that right now and show you how it messes up. File, import again, and it opens up to where you were last time. I'll bring in my rail, and I'm just going to move that over, kind of close it, you can see the problem. One of them is wrong, and I'll admit that. So I think I want the fuller back, the offset toward the back of my back of this door. Now, I may have done it backwards on the one before, but we'll just do it this way, and then we'll work from there. Go to rotate again, grab this, and just pull it over 180 degrees. As you can see down in the angle area again. Now, I'm going to make this part active, and I'm going to put a dimension on it. So I've got to make it active again. That's 10 inches. I need it 21. So I'm going to grab it at the top, and I'm going to extrude it up maybe 11 inches. Now I have a 21-inch style. Yeah. Now I'm going to, well, I'm not going to cheat that way. I'm going to go ahead and put it in. Once you get using this, no, I'm not going to do it that way because I was still active in that part. You better make sure that when you are doing things, that's not light blue over here, because it means it's active, even though there's little dotted lines around it. There's a whole bunch of cues to tell you you're screwing up. Pay attention to the cues. You got to learn your rule. Even though I've done it for a long time, I get ahead of myself and don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to rotate this around, try to figure out how long a rail is going to be. If I grab the wrong one. Why did it not go 180? There. You always have to look at your cues here. Kind of got to mind your P's and Q's. Now this is going to be a very short, weird door. On this one, you may suggest to your customers that they really don't want it like this. I'm going to make this one active, and I'm going to put a dimension right there. And it is also 10 inches. Now I'll go back up to here and get a dimension from this corner to this corner. That's 4.5. So this is going to be really skinny. Make that active. Select from the top left to the bottom right. I'll show you what happens if you select the other way. You get everything, and your part's going to really act squirrely. So you have to watch what you're doing, and it's really, once you screw it up a couple times, you begin to figure it out. Except I do it wrong about 3 times out of 10. Oh, crap! I didn't redo it. This icon here is to move. So I'm going to select a point here and give it a direction. And 5.5 should give me a 4.5-inch part. I'm also going to take the same part, because I need it twice, and I'm going to rotate it around, holding the control key down. And I'll move this up into position. Now I will do the same thing for my bottom one. Hit the space bar to clear out your selection. Grab the outside corner, because that's our control feature. Now, we have a little bitty door. I'm going to select all 4 of these components. Maybe get plaster. And I want to make that 10-inch door. Now see, if I'd have started out with the way I said, to start with the shortest part first, I would have had a 4.5-inch part. I'm not used to doing this. Cabinet making is not something I have done before. Now, we're going to import the door panel itself. We're going to end up with something really ugly, because this dimension from here to here is 1 5/8 inches. I'll just go ahead and do it. What I need is this dimension to be, well, no, I want to do something else. Control Z, Control Z. I want the overall to be this dimension right here, which is 5 inches. Okay, so now I'll make this active, put my dimension in here, do the same thing, hit the space bar to clear it out. There, I've got information trapped. Select here, and what was the dimension? 5.5 inches. Let's go 7, because I forgot what. Let's go 5. And it didn't work. I went the wrong way. Now, 5 inches this way. Is that going to work? No, because I wanted it to be 5 inches. I didn't want to move it 5 inches. So we'll grab it again, pick my move icon, and move it 2 more inches. Now, if you think that looks kind of ugly, so do I, but you may, in your wisdom and knowledge, know how to make that visually pleasing for your customer. Now, what we have, though, is a piece outside of our door. So I don't want to bring that in there. But I do want to take this panel, and I want to put it inside of my 10-inch door. That's how easy it is. It's like moving files in Windows. You grab it, you just drag it where you want it. Now let's go ahead and make this door active. I want to take my door panel and plunk it right there. It lines up nice, very pretty, and I'm going to unhide. Oh yeah, I forgot one thing. Forgot to tell it how high to make it, didn't I? Oh, that's okay. Let's hide these 3 pieces. And actually, undo that, hide these two, and then find out this dimension from here to here. And that is 16 1/4. And now we'll make this one active and get that dimension. And I'm going to do something you're going to tell me is wrong, and you're right. I'll let you know that right now. I'm going to make it full depth, but I know you don't. Actually, no, I'm not, because I see what I do down here. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to grab up here, and I'm going to move this up. .125. Let's try that. I'll leave that. Nope. 1 inch even. There. Now I'll grab this door panel and move it up 1/8 of an inch. There. And yeah, it's kind of a nuisance sometimes when you're doing this, but it sometimes just wants to do what it wants to. The 1/8 of an inch gap is probably too much. So I'm going to go back to 0.065, and I'm going to make this one 1/8 of an inch longer. And we'll go ahead and move this one, get my dimension here so I can see it. 0.125. There. Hit space bar to clear things out, unhide my two components here. And now I have a door that probably should be a little bit wider. It's your preference on how you like your doors made. Now I've created a brand new door. I'm going to save this because I actually kind of like how it looks. I may even use it in my house when I finally know what I'm doing. So I'll save that. I'm going to import. I don't have a drawer here, so let me go up into my other components. And I should have a drawer, like that one. Let's bring this one in. Okay, this is just a simple drawer. We're going to make it fit in the small opening first. Drag it, bring it up here. Now you can see there's several things wrong with it. A lot of people will say use this tool right here. Use scale. No, because when you scale it, your wood thickness goes berserk. What you need to do, we know that this has got to be bigger. I'm going to draw it with an interference fit. I know that's wrong. Just bear with me because I'm trying to show you what to do, not all of the proper techniques. So I have a drawer back. I have it set up the right. I'm active. What I want to do, I didn't have it active. There. Now it's active. I want to take this I want the corner there. Now, you'll say, why did that part come up too? Well, you notice I have two drawer backs in this thing. Um, this may not be accurate for what you're trying to do because these are just simple butt joints. Now, I could use dowels. Um, I could use biscuits. I don't have a biscuit joiner. I could use pocket hole screws. There's a lot of ways to do it. You have to kind of know, again, back to your bread and butter, what your normal process is. And that will determine if this part and this part is the same, or if one's the front and one's the back and the other in the fashion. In fact, you may have just single drawer fronts. You don't even have to do it this way. So now I'm going to activate this part, and I'm going to bring it over there, and it moved 5 inches. And I wanted to know that because I need to make this 5 inches bigger. And I need, come on, here. There, drawer face. There. I need this 5 inches bigger. And I didn't have to keep back in because it remembered my last command. So now we have a drawer that's probably a little too short, guys. So let's take this whole drawer assembly and move it into position. I'll grab from here to here. Then I'm doing it wrong. I don't have my height right, so the way I was moving it was wrong. There. Now we have a stretched and smushed door. Let's make it longer first. There. Currently, it is 5 inches internal. I did this for another project. That's why it's so small. Actually, I did it for one of my kids' boxes. So to make this active again, I'll take the side to make it active and not just make another dimension. I'm going to move this out 13 inches, so my drawer is 18 inches deep. Now, is it deep enough? Probably not. But that's what I'm going to do right now, because this is a little skinny drawer. Okay, I know that dimension. Therefore, I can make this one active and make that 18 inches. I can make this one active. Now you're going to see something probably pretty funny. I'm going to go ahead and make this one the same dimension. Oh, I put them together intelligently. Except I didn't because it got way too big. Why did you do that? Good question. Let's change that. I actually thought this side of the drawer was going to go way out front. I actually moved it side to side rather than rotating it. Sometimes if you rotate things, it doesn't like it. Okay, let's see if we can move this back up to here. Yeah, 5 inches too long. That one fixed. Let's grab this and hide it. Hide function is very nice. There. Now we have a drawer that doesn't fit our opening. I made this opening a goofball size. I did it deliberately. So I'm going to make my front, or my drawer again, my drawer back, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to watch my dimension down here, but I don't want it. Let's do 1 3/4. Let's make it a little bit more. Let's make it 1.875. There. I will live with that. I could make it full 2 inches, just don't want to. That's one nice thing about this. You don't have to do it the same way all the time. A lot of times you can do on-the-fly changes because that's exactly what you want. Now I have everything set up except my fascia. So I'll go to my drawer front, make that active, and I will do this the same amount, even though it's not going to have my reveal right. I think that's the right term, even though it covers. Let's bring it up another 0.25. So now we have a drawer here. Let's save this thing again. I'm going to take the same drawer and move it over into my very large opening. To do that, I'm going to hide the fascia because I want this corner to move. So now, select that one, make it active to move, not active to edit. And select this and go from here, holding the control key down. And now I have 2 drawer 1As, which is going to be kind of inconvenient because this is bigger. I'm going to unhide this. And I'm going to make all of these, well, it won't let me. Okay, I'll make this one unique. And I'll make all, no, I don't have to make them all unique. I've got to make the backs unique, the bottom unique, hit wrong key. Okay, component 1, which is, I'm also editing wrong one. Component 1 is the bottom, drawer back is the front, and drawer face need to be unique. Our side pieces are all the same. What you can do is set up a dummy or a component. I'm trying to talk while I'm trying to do something. Let me make these unique so I don't screw up anymore. You can have one of these. If you make a lot of 4-inch boxes, you can make it 4 inches and make it the same length. And then just do the process I'm going to show you now. So now I have this unique. I'm going to take, let's hide that front because it's in the way. I'm going to take my side piece. No, I'm going to take my front piece and I'm going to extend that. I'm going to select this face and try to bring it I'm going to force it to be 12 inches. Now I will select this piece and I will move it 12 inches. I can either key it in or I can actually use inferred point. So that's what I'll do just to show you another way to get things moving. Now you need to extrude this out, that same 12 inches again, and hopefully it will remember 12 inches. And it did. Now I need to unhide my drawer face, activate it, and do the same 12-inch movement to it. Now, we have a lot more new components in here. Let's go ahead and put my component 4 back in, my nail-up board there. Unhide that one. Let's collapse everything. In fact, let's collapse all. Now, I want to select all of these parts, and there would just be a lot of figuring going on in here to figure out how many parts I'm going to cut, how long. Under plugin, cut list. My cut list does not work right. I just replaced it. It gives me the same error every time. Nobody else has that problem. So I'm not blaming Cutlist, it's just me. I'm going to put it to a web page, but if you put it to these files are editable, and they go into your folder where the part is resident, and you can open this one with either Microsoft Office. I don't know if you can open it with Microsoft Works. You can also open it with OpenOffice. OpenOffice is a free program. If you're like me and don't really like to use pirated stuff, OpenOffice. In fact, I'll leave that running on both of them. I'll just run all of them. I don't know if the SVG file is going to work or not. Sorted by size. Let's see what. Let's do it by subassembly. Now, we're going to get some error messages here. This one. Some parts were left which could not be placed on given stock. They're my sheet stock. And I don't know if that's because I made a metric or what. But anyway, we'll get a printout of them. It's through these silly messages right here. Cut list written into SU models cabinet class cut list CSV. I'm not going to worry about that right now. And yes, we have the model error here. It also wrote the SVG files into this thing. So we're going to have to go into that because there's nothing here. It doesn't give me the I want print preview. And it's not going to let me give it a preview. Okay, I'll just cancel that one. But here is a copy. That's how long it took, by the way, guys. All these new components are set up by components and classes and all the names and everything. So I'm going to turn this off, if I can remember where it said it. Go into my drive here, my SU models, and cabinet cut list. This is going to give me an error message. Well, no, because I already imported the other one. That's great. Now I have a spreadsheet. Tells me the sides, tells me what I've got, links I have to cut them, total board feet, and it's even giving me my large sizes. That shouldn't have been in there. I didn't select it, but that's how long that component, the whole thing, really is. So it gives you all these wonderful dimensions. I'm going to save this. Right now I'm just going to call it that because I already have another one called Cabinet Cut List. There. That's hidden. And now we can look at our parts layouts, the way it decided to put them on our boards. Now, obviously, this one, rather than being on a 6-inch, we'd probably end up putting those, since they're 4 inches or less, we'd put those on a 1x4 if we can fit. If not, and you make them out of sheet stock, you just cut them right length. But it gives you all of your dimensions and how to use them. I wouldn't say it was in the most efficient way because, oh yeah, I was going to say these three should go up here, but no, because this is a 1x6. Should be. Um, yeah. So it's giving us a different layout because these parts are just, they're not exactly the same. Let's go to sheet 3. And it gives us a little bitty door here. Oh, and that's why it's giving us that 2 3/4 inch stock, because we're making it out of, or 2 and whatever it is. Door panel, it's thicker. Well, that's the rail. That's my fault. And it should be 2 of them, and it's not. But what it did on that one is, because it's a raised panel door, it's thicker than your normal stock. So that pretty much gives you an idea on how to use. Let me go back to turn off screen here. There we are. Here I am again. Didn't take a full hour, which is good because my voice is going bad in a hurry. This gives you an idea on how much time you can save by using current tools. Now, if you're an old hand tool guy, which I'm learning how to be, actually some things are quicker with hand tools, and I won't say that for a lot of things, that a hand sketch is not quicker. But once you get into 20, 30, 40, 50 components, hand is not quicker. Forget it. It ain't going to happen. If you got a 13-year-old son, have him learn how to use Sketchup, because he'll catch on to it quicker. If you got a daughter, she can learn how to. This stuff is easy. And it's really easy for older guys. Learning curve is a little bit harder, but it's not impossible. It's a fairly simple program. It has some idiosyncrasies. I haven't found a program of any sort that doesn't. Windows, well, all of you Mac guys are going to say, yeah, well, what do you expect? Okay. Spreadsheets, databases, everything has its own little unique ways it has to have things done. Graphics programs are just worse. Except maybe for you Mac guys. If you want to comment, I'm up there, go ahead. You can try to install this on Macs. I can't afford one. I'm working with a 1986 Buffalo bandsaw because I can't afford a good one. I won't afford a good one. It's doing the job I need. You have to kind of love it a little bit while you're working with it, but it works. So it's a tool. The computer is a tool, guys. Yeah, talking about things glitching out. It took me 20 minutes to find out where I posted this Hangout. I'd activated the wrong account. I was looking all over the place for it. So, yeah, I use computers. Am I a guru? No. But it's a fun tool. Get used to it, play with it. And on some of this stuff, there's going to be obviously a sales pitch. But on some of this stuff, if you have trouble with it, get a hold of me. Message me, email me, Google+, Facebook. If it's too involved, yeah, I might suggest a little remuneration, but for most of the stuff, I like doing it. Like that clamp, though, forget it. If you ask me to do that clamp for you, I'm going to charge you. It's expensive. But you can find other things on Trimble's Warehouse. They're getting awfully nasty on Trimble's Warehouse, but they're there. You can go in, steal the idea, change it, get rid of their warehouse stuff, and then use it yourself. Since Trimble has taken over SketchUp 2013, 2014, all they want is money. If you use their program to make any money at all, of course, if you pirate it, who cares? But if you use it, you're supposed to buy the Pro, and I'm not going to spend that much money. I'm perfectly happy with SketchUp 8. It does what I want. Um, Why fight it? SketchUp 8 free. Good program. Have fun with it. And I have fun teaching too. Some guys have said, have sent me messages and asked for specific information. I've started a class instantly to answer their question. Um, I like teaching. I'm retired. I can do what I want. Well, being free, white, and over 21 doesn't make any difference anymore. Trust me, guys. I'm way over 21. My wife just shut me down, but she's older than me, and I love her bunches. She, she's a nut. Thanks for watching this. Whenever you get around to it, have fun, be safe, um, take care of your tools, all of them, and they'll take care of you. Bye bye.